Hello YouTube friends. So I've come down into the front woods because I know that I can probably find some pussy willow here. But just look at how wet the ground is. This is the ditch that's running here. But then beyond it there's standing water there. This is not good land for anything except an abundance of wildlife. But a few years ago I did plant this willow. Well, it's going to be a hedge, but it's turned into a tree like things do. And willow grows so quickly and so abundantly that it won't mind at all if let's get a bit higher, if I prune a little bit off. I'm going to see if I can get this bit down here. It's hard to film and do. Well, that's more than enough. It's a beautiful day. Lovely white fluffy clouds up there. I should spend some time outside today. And then some of this beautiful forsythia that's in full bloom here. It's all gorgeous. Oh, I know what else I might be able to get. And just round this corner, I've got some flowering red currant. So I'm going to reach up and take now. Let's see what that looks like. I've probably got way too much material here, but that's all right. I've got some pussy willow, and I'm going to use this vase here that's got the marbles and stones and things in the bottom, so that I can stick them in and kind of arrange it. Let's see how we go. I'm no arranger. I think I might have said that before, but there's a piece of pussy willow, and that's kind of like the height we'll have it. So here is a beautiful piece of that flowering forsythia, which is one of the early things to flower in the garden. And we'll pop that in there. Oh yes, that's lovely. That'll be the centre bit. So why don't we put these pink ones in next? These flowering red currants here, which are a bit shorter than the willow. Let's put those in, and I'll put the water in at the end. Oh, they're pretty. Yeah, I don't need to be a flower arranger, do I? Nature knows how to arrange flowers. I just let it do it. I'll put that in the back. A little bit more. I've been waiting for a day like this. It's a nice day. It's a little cold, but it's a really, really lovely day, because I want to bring out the houseplants that have been all around the house all winter and give them a little bit of TLC. And I have some repotting mix here, and it may be that something like this she's looking a little bit weedy and a bit sorry for itself, we may take it out of here and put it in a bigger pot. It's only in a tiny pot, that one. And so I've been wanting to do this now. I've been waiting for a day like this. Now today is Saturday. The cat. And I often make your Sunday video on a Saturday. Are you coming up here? No, she's not. Because I've got time then to make it and edit it. You see, this is really dry. Look how dry that is inside. Okay, so this one then, it is looking really sorry for itself. I don't even know what this is. It's a peperomia pepper pot. Don't know what that is. So I'm going to get some bigger pots. This compost here. I'll move some of these down onto the bench beside me, and we'll just work on one at a time. This one, for instance, which is an absolutely beautiful plant, it's utterly pot bound now. And so this one, look at how tiny that is, and all its roots are all pot bound there. So I think these two then, we'll concentrate on these two. This one could do with a much bigger pot. So I'm going to do this and chat with you. And look, the spider plant that's in this basket here, apart from it having little babies here, little offshoots, it's also, I could split it here if I wanted to, but I don't think I will. I think I'll just renew the soil a bit in this one and give it a nice, maybe not even a bigger pot. That one's okay. We'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. These two, I'll start work on these two. I need to go and get some water first and a couple of bigger pots. See you in a sec. Oh, I'm really warm. I don't think I need a scarf on. Let's see. I'm going to take my coat off as well. Now, I've got some water and I've got this thing, which is a big old enamel bowl, which I'm going to fill with some soil. This is houseplant compost, but I've only got a bit of it, so I'm going to mix it with some ordinary potting compost that I've got here. Sort of 2 to 1. Okay then, this guy here. So if I just put that in a pot now with soil around it, the roots won't expand out into that soil unless I tease them out a little bit. It's very dry, so I'm just going to twinkle the soil around it a little. And I'm going to put it in, it doesn't need to be in a massively bigger pot. Let's see, what about that one? It was in that size pot, and so I'm going to put it in the next size up pot. It doesn't want to have too much space around it, and I like these black ones because they absorb the light and the heat, rather, they hold the heat. So I'm going to put a bit of this stuff, you know what I'm doing. I'm only doing this so I can sit and chat to you in the garden. Put it down below the level of the plant pot. I honestly feel like I'm teaching you to suck eggs now. I'm going to just stick that, hold the hair up out of the way, and then just put all this good compost in there, and then I'm going to put them all on the terrace outside the back door and give them a really, really, really good watering. So they always look a little bit sorry for themselves when you first do it, but that one will perk up no end. It'll really thank me for that. Put that there for now, and we'll have a go at this one. Now this one's roots are all wrapped and wrapped and wrapped around where the pot was, and it's very dry. I've really not been watering this one very well. I think I have been watering it, but I don't think there's been enough soil to hold on to the water. So again, I think we'll just put it in the next size up pot. And I'm just going to carry on and do all of these, giving them a little bit of I really like this one, so I want to be super careful. You see how that leaf's dropped off, that stalk's dropped off? That'll grow. So I'll put that in a pot with some fresh soil, and that'll grow. I'll end up with some new ones of this. Now, in you go, gently does it. I really like this one. I like the purple on the underneath of the leaf. So we'll put loads of soil down here. I always used to think that I couldn't grow houseplants, that I would kill them off. And I always, no, I don't want houseplants in the house because I'm not very good with them. Until I was given a couple and I thought, oh, I suppose I better try not to kill these. And you know, I look after them really well and they reward me with their fantastic, beautiful greenery, or in this case, this lovely purple as well. So this is good quality compost. That's a little bigger now, a little bigger pot than it was, so it'll hold a little more water. It doesn't look very happy. It's a bit tangled, but that's okay. Pop it down here and we'll give them all a good water later. I'm sure there are people out there who know what these are called, but I'm not one of them. This one's not bad actually. This one would split beautifully and make a second plant. So there's a lovely split there. Two plants for one here. Last week when I took the photograph of the quilt that the blue and yellow string piece quilt that I put on eBay, I came up here and I put the quilt over the balcony of the treehouse. I didn't really think about it because I do that with all the quilts, almost all. If the quilt's ready in the dead of winter, I don't, and it's raining and blowing a breeze, I don't come out and photograph that one. But I usually finish a quilt, put it over the balcony of the treehouse and photograph it. And I didn't really think twice about doing that with the quilt last week. And I'm going to talk to you then about this little treehouse. It was built when my son, who's now, what is he, 31 now? He was 4. So that's how old it is. And it was built as a playhouse for the children. But then it was kind of upgraded a little and insulation was added and nice, it was made a little bit nicer. It used to just be quite rough and ready, but now it's a little bit nicer, and I decorated it green obviously, but green and yellow. And over the years I just keep adding and adding and adding to it. And so I put the quilt over the balcony of the treehouse. Didn't even think to describe to people what it was, because I might have made a video about this, but a long time ago. But I want to talk to you about the quilt that I put on eBay, which was to benefit Andrew and Andrea from Fruity Knitting, because Andrew is very poorly. And I asked Andrea's permission and she said that I could talk about that and put the quilt up for auction. Now, I hoped it would reach a good amount, but if people have been watching that auction over this last week, it's just listed for 7 days. I've been absolutely astounded by the amount of money that's been raised. This is Saturday morning, I'm talking to you now, and the bidding is in excess of £4,000, which really will make a difference, I think, to the medical bills for Andrew. I'm sure it will help them enormously. So, and the bidding's not over yet, but I'm just staggered. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about how I feel about that. When I was at school, one of my favourite lessons in senior school was chemistry. I think I probably had a bit of a crush on the teacher. He was very nice, but I also really enjoyed it, and I got it. I understood it because it's very logical. The whole idea of balancing equations and all of that. And chemistry, you know, a reaction, this happens, then this happens, and it's always going to be that way. And I like that, the certainty of chemistry. I liked sciences very much. Anyway, when I discovered what the definition of a catalyst was, it stayed with me, and I like the idea of a catalyst being something that people can be in the world, or things can be in the world. So a catalyst, the definition of a catalyst is it's something which speeds up or slows down a reaction but does not itself take part. Okay, so it's like a thing that makes something happen or stops something from happening, but it's unchanged and it doesn't actually take part in that. And I think that I feel like I've been a catalyst in this situation, and that offering this has been like, here you are, here's the chemical reaction. Now, we don't need to take that analogy any further. Just as an aside, the cat that you'll see outside is always going to be Sadie. She spends a lot of her time outside, and she always follows me around the garden. So I put out this idea of fundraising for something that I felt very strongly about. And then you guys have run with it. And this now has got nothing to do with me, nothing to do with the quilt. Definitely not. This is to do with Andrew and Andrea. And I know that, and you know that. Oh, and Sadie knows that too. Sadie. And so the first thing I'll do once the money is cleared is send that straight off to Andrew and Andrea. The PayPal link for anybody who just wants to do a donation, because who can afford that amount of money to buy a quilt? Very, very few people. But a small amount of money builds up and adds up and is helpful. So I'm going to leave the PayPal me link to Fruity Knitting down in the description below this video. So today then, I've collected my Easter flowers and my Easter branches. I've brought out some of the houseplants and given them a little new lease of life in slightly bigger pots. And now I've got a shopping list here. It's empty, but I'm going to go, after I've finished making this little video, I'm going to the shops because I need to get some bits and pieces for the garden and for Easter food. So I know it'll be a bit busy, but tomorrow some of my kids are coming to see me. Things are loosening off with the lockdown a bit, and we can meet up outside. And so if it's a day like today, we're going to have a picnic in the pavilion. I clear all the table off from all that houseplant repotting that I was doing. So I'm just going to sit here then and think, because I've got a terrible memory, a terrible memory. So I'm going to sit here and write a shopping list now, and then drive into town. So thank you so much, everybody. I'll do some more videos from here because it's nice, isn't it? And I'll tell you the other thing it's nice for. I mean, I bring my granddaughter Agnes up here now. She comes to Grandma's little house, and she's starting to learn words, like very at a massive rate of knots. So a favourite word is ladder, because we have to climb up the ladder to get to the treehouse. In fact, I'm not sure she doesn't think the treehouse is called ladder, because that's how often we say it. Anyway, this bed here then, it's sometimes where I come for an afternoon nap when I want to be really, really peaceful and quiet. It's a good place for a sleep. Shopping list. I'll catch up with you soon. There's the Quilt Along over on Patreon is coming to an end. I've got maybe one, maybe two more videos to make about that. I've finished all the quilting on it now, and I'm going to be doing the binding. And you know, I might sit outside in the sunshine and do that, but I'm planning the next along, which I'm pretty excited about, I can tell you. So that's over on Patreon, plus the weekly videos that we Anna and I make for all the patrons over there. So have a lovely, happy Easter, all of you. And I will catch up with you soon. Take care. Bye now. Shopping list time.